Hello, everyone. Welcome to the InEarthgie Show. I am your host, Chi Smith. Guys, thank you so much for joining us on yet another Tuesday. And if you're catching the replay, please like and share this wonderful video. Again, I am Chi Smith, your host here at the InEarthgie Show. And here at the InEarthgie Show, we love to bring balance to an unbalanced lifestyle. We love to learn and we have fun while learning. So as you guys know, every Tuesday we kick it off with an awesome song. Get your groove on. You may be cooking. You may be getting the kids together. You may be packing to go on vacation. Okay, yes, for the vacation. Yes, or staycation. Whichever one that suits you. You know, you may be kicking back and just ready to watch the InEarthgie Show. And after that, you're going to read a book and go to bed. Hey, whatever it is, get in the mood. We're going to kick it off with an awesome song. Thank you guys for tuning in. Listen, I love you. I love you. I love you. Let's get this party started.
Unconditional and separate love that feel like forever, that's always emotional, but still exceptional love. Can't nobody tell me nothing is what it is. Every mistake you make, I just made for you. Right now, this very moment, still love her like I love her. I love her in another round. Yeah. So early, just don't admit. There's only one person I can think of that me feel like this. Not a fool, such a fool for you. So sweet, so deep, so real, ooh, weak. That's some powerful stuff. Oh, how you do it, just to do it, keep it coming, baby. I can't seem to get enough. What you do, what you say, makes me wanna let me love you, baby. I don't even have a choice. Oh, and if I did it to be you, cause you the man, I'm on these other boys. Sweet sugar, I surrender. White flag, oh, I won't even put it for fun. Oh, cause there ain't a damn thing wrong about this kind of loving. Oh, when it feels so right. Gotta let her tell it to my mama, and she gon' tell the world that I love you. Oh, some people probably say I'm crazy, but I don't mind being a fool for you. I'm a fool. Such a fool, such a fool, such a fool for you. I'm a fool, baby.
Yes, come on now, CeeLo. Yes, and featuring Melanie Fiona. Fiona. Yes. Welcome, guys, to the InEarthgie Show. I am your host, Chi Smith. Listen, we love to bring balance to an unbalanced lifestyle. Here, we love to have fun. I hope you brought your pen, your paper, because you guys know every week we bring the business. Listen, we bring definitions, meanings, words. We're doing diagrams. We're lining it out, right? We're figuring it out, because this thing called life is different for everybody. And what you hear from me, everybody, I promise you, hears it all differently. So we want to make sure that you are getting the same information, but however it is applicable to you in your everyday, every week, every month, every year lifestyle, in order to enhance more of yourself, helping you understand yourself, understand other people, and helping other people understand themselves. Listen, I'm only one person, so I need you guys' help to spread the word. And the more that we all learn together, the more we sow more seeds, and the better the harvest will be. Come on now, somebody who can agree with me there. Listen. All right, now who we got up in the house? All right, Brother Amari. Yes, peace and blessings to you too, brother. Thank you so much for tuning in. All right, our sister Sincere, come on now. GA is in the house. All right. I know that's right. Listen, I love me some CeeLo. CeeLo is the bomb, okay? Never going out of style, forever in my head. Brother, okay? Yes. Okay, let me see. Look, I didn't know you knew a little bit about that. Way to go. Awesome. Well, guys, again, thank you so much for tuning in. I am your host, Chi Smith. And listen, it is so amazing. Again, you guys know I only come to you once a week. And so many things happen from week to week. And I promise you, I had a total different topic. And then there was like a detour saying, no, go this way. And I'm going to share with you today, we are going to talk about relationships. So as we heard the song Fool for You, and I don't know if you guys have ever heard that song before, and if you haven't, go back and find it, YouTube or whatever your podcast you listen to, Amazon Music, whatever, Spotify, whatever you use, because even in that, Melanie and CeeLo was saying, I'm a fool for you, Mom, I'm a fool for you, Daddy, I'm a fool for you, whoever I love today, in a relationship, whatever. But I thought that song was so befitting for today, because oftentimes we are or have been a fool for somebody. We've been a fool for somebody. And regardless of the outcome, it was an experience. Now, what we're going to talk about today is 4 steps to a successful relationship. Now, one thing that I know to be true that I have learned in these few years is you got to do what you can do. You got to do what you can do, and you got to leave the rest. And not only do what you can do and leave the rest, but know that every time a relationship ends, whether it's with a client, a customer, a family member, a significant other, you got to be able to step away and say, did I do everything I was supposed to do in that relationship? Was I empty when I left that relationship, or when that relationship ended? Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. Even if you can say, I was a fool for this person, can you be honest with yourself and say, but I gave it my all? See, a lot of times we have been fooled for folks, and we was playing a game right along with the person that was playing a game with us. Okay? Can we be clear about these relationships? We get all discombobulated about them making a fool of us, but we was playing a game just as much as they was playing a game. Whatever, we ain't got time for that today. Relationships. We've been a fool for some. We've been a fool on the job. We did our work, and we did Susie Q and Johnny Joe's work too, because we needed to take care of our families. We needed to overtime. We've been a fool for our children. We know what type of children we have, but we just keep going over and over. We just keep letting them. And oh my word, relationships, even friendships. And listen, we talk about relationships as far as significant others, but my goodness, what about friendships? Friendships. I know some of us can say goodness gracious. But at the end of the day, were you empty? Did you give it your all? Because I promise you, that is all that matters. Now, for those of us who are struggling with healthy relationships, okay, we are here for the entire well-being of ourselves. Those of us who are struggling and straining with our relationships, we're going to talk about it. So I know you guys see it streaming at the bottom down here. We're going to talk about them things right when we come back.
She's sugary, she's spice. She is everything plus nice. Take her one-on-one class and she provides the best advice. She'll take you down to the trenches, but only to lead a new way. Only for the sake of you and your legacy to establish a new day. Let's give a warm welcome to the Chief Reprimander and the Supreme Hugger, Chi Smith.
All right, everyone. Hello. Welcome to the InEarthgie Show. I am your host, Chi Smith here. Listen, we love to bring balance to an unbalanced lifestyle. We love to have fun while learning. We learn here at the InEarthgie Show. So I hope you brought your pen and paper, baby, because we're going to school. You're going to be like, she hadn't heard these words before, but maybe not with this perspective. Listen, we love to have fun while learning, and we absolutely do. So today, guys, we're talking about relationships. We talking about relationships, any kind of relationships, business relationships, family relationships, parent to child relationships, significant other relationships. Heck, it could be your neighbor, someone in your community relationships, period. And I promise you 4 easy steps. Four easy steps. But before we get to those 4 easy steps, you guys can already see them. So go ahead and write them down. And then what we will do, of course, along the way, or what you will do, is understand the nuggets that come along as you listen to each of those 4 categories. And then you jot down what each category means to you. Okay, so what I like to ask oftentimes as it relates, because listen, we're all in the business of customer service. I don't care what you say. We are about making sure people are happy, whether we are making sure they're happy with us, our services, who we are, whatever we are to be to the opposing person. We want the outcome to be pleasant and good. Okay, we absolutely do. I don't care what anybody says. We absolutely want the outcome to be good. However, there are just a few things that you have to understand. So as we talk about relationships, the first thing is, do you know the person that you're dealing with? Do you know the person that you're dealing with? Sometimes we don't. Sometimes we don't know who we're dealing with. Sometimes we have, unfortunately and subconsciously, said, I'll figure it out along the way. They seem good. They seem like they got a good heart. Well, they talking pleasant. Well, you know what? If it's anything bad, it'll come out. So you basically just signed up to ride somebody's roller coaster. Unbeknownst to you what's coming along the ride. So should you really be upset when you see what come out? You said we'll figure it out along the way. Okay. Do you know him? The next thing is trust. We do this thing when we're working with different couples to where we have them, it's kind of like a sliding scale, if you will. And so it's, if you go all the way up, it's at 10%. If you go all the way down, it's, at 0%, right? And of course, if you put it in the middle, that means, you're at 5 on a scale from 0 to 10. How well do you know the people that you're dealing with? How well do you know your spouse? How well do you know your significant other? How well do you know your children? How well do you know your clients? How many of us are taking inventory and or a survey of our clients that we're trying to sell our products and our services to? How well do we know them? Do you trust them? Again, on that scale, do you trust them enough to believe that they're going to buy your products and services? Because if you understand your audience, if you understand your clients, you can trust that they're going to invest as well as share the word. Right? If you know them. Same thing with significant others. You can trust that they'll treat your heart right. They won't break your heart because you know them. Your children, you know what they're going to do. You can trust that they're going to always be there with you, around you, take care of you, so on and so forth, because you know your kids. Can you rely on these people? The people that you have relationships with, can you rely on them? Can you? Think about your current relationships. Do you know them enough? Do you trust them enough? Can you rely on them? When you go to a pop-up shop and they say, you know what? I'm going to circle around and I'm going to come right back. Can you rely on them to come right back to your table? You know what? I don't have the money on me today, but I know I'll have it next week. Can you rely on them to pay you for your products or your services next week? If you know them, if you trust them, maybe you can rely on them. Commit. How committed are you in these relationships, and how much are they committed to you? And again, generally we do this sliding scale with families, with couples, and so on and so forth. So think about this as you go down the line of different people that are in your head. Yeah. Where are the both of you as it relates to knowing each other? How much would you really say you guys know each other? How much would you really say you can trust one another? Where are you on the scale with reliability? Are you reliable? Are you reliable, and is that person reliable? And then when you guys get together, can y'all rely on each other? And are you truly committed? Are you truly, truly committed? Are you truly committed to meeting your clients' needs with the products and services that you offer? And or are you committed? Let me even say it like this. Are you committed in such a way that even if your clients share with you that they have a need for something and maybe you don't have it today, are you committed to potentially having that, adding that to your portfolio? Now, I get it. If it's just, Johnny come lately, just, once a year that says, you know what, you should add vanilla something to your portfolio. I mean, is there enough people asking for vanilla? I don't know. But that's yet and still, we do know that there's a large number of people out there and customers who buy vanilla anything from anywhere. So maybe it's not so bad. Maybe you'll get more customers if you add vanilla as a fragrance type. Who knows? But even as it relates to relationships, are you really committed to that person? Is that person really committed to you? Maybe we have commitment issues. I don't know. And then you guys have heard about the 5 love languages. What's your love language? Do you know your love language? Do you know the love language of the individuals that you have a relationship with? Do they, when you talk to them, do they love that you touch them on the shoulder while you talk to them? Right? Where does that line up on the scale? Some people don't like to be touched. Some people just want you to show them and get gone. They don't want all the extra. They don't want all the extra, right? They just want to get what they can get, and that's it, and get gone. So those are just kind of just a few things to think about when you're dealing with relationships. We call it the relationship attachment model. As it relates to you being attached to different relationships, what do these different relationships say and mean to you? Where are you on the scale with knowing the person that you're in a relationship with? Do you trust that person? Does that person trust you? Are you reliable? Can that other person rely on you? Do you guys have a commitment that's mutual, a mutual commitment? And then do you understand how to effectively communicate with them based off their love language or just who they are as an individual? Those are the things that we generally top off with inquiring before we actually talk about these 4 steps intently. You got to kind of evaluate your relationships, maybe even with your business partners. And maybe not all 5 are applicable: the know, the trust, the rely, the commit, and then the 5 love languages, or just knowing that individual, as a whole. Maybe not all 5 apply, but I think it is reasonable to ask, when was the last time you evaluated any of your relationships? Any of them. Your relationship with your children. Where are you on a scale of 1 to 10 with your children? And if you have multiple children, maybe you should even do that. Maybe you should do that exercise by yourself. Write down each child name and then figure out where you are with them. Figure out where they are with you, where you guys are together. Maybe you guys have met in the middle. Maybe y'all at a 5. Maybe you got 3 kids and 2 of them are at an 8, and then you just got that one that's at a 4 or a 5. But at least you will know. At least you will know. What about your business relationships? You may think everything is hunky-dory and everything is fine and it's working out. And your partner is like, he or she has no clue what's going on. You got to evaluate your business relationship. Are you the overachiever in the partnership? Are you the organized person? Are you the one that's always following up? And is your partner the fly-by-night, fly-by-the-seat of the pants person? We have to constantly evaluate our relationships so that we know if we're moving forward or if we're at a place of stagnation, or we just went all the way back to square one and or status quo. Relationships are so important. When you understand who you're dealing with, you can know how to move the ball forward, or you know that is a place you need to work on. And maybe, again, do this exercise together, because you will be surprised at the outcome of the opposing person. Again, we kind of, in our relationships, we kind of get so caught up in saying, oh, it's fine. Oh, we're okay. Or she's fine. He's fine. We're good. Are you really? You constantly have to understand. You have to check that pulse. Everything is always under maintenance. Our health is under maintenance. Vehicles are under maintenance. Business. Look, you got to change your business plan. What they say, change your business plan every 3 to 5 years. So if other things can be altered, you mean to tell me your relationship should be on cruise control for 10 years? Wow. It's a question. It's a question. If you just tuned in, guys, welcome to the Inner Chi Show. I am your host, Chi Smith here. We love to bring balance to an unbalanced lifestyle. Listen, today we're talking about relationships. We're talking about evaluating your relationships, whether it is personal, business, whether it's with children, whether it is at your place of employment, right? You need to understand who your coworkers are and who you're working with and or around. It's just so important to understand and kind of put the relationship on a scale, right? Understanding where you are. Do you know the person that you have this relationship with? Again, business, personal, what have you, and how well are you guys trustworthy in the relationship? Can you guys commit to one another to get the end goal done, right? Do you know them well enough to know they're having a good day or they're having a bad day, right? We have to constantly evolve in our relationships. So guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to break down these 4 categories that you see scrolling down here. We'll be right back.
What is an autoimmune disease, you may ask? It is a condition in which your immune system attacks your body. The immune system responsibility is to guard against germs like bacteria and viruses. When it senses these foreign invaders, it sends out a signal of fighter cells to attack them. In an autoimmune disease, the immune system confuses parts of your body, like your joints or your skin, as foreign. It releases proteins called autoantibodies that attack healthy cells. Autoimmune diseases can target one or more organs. For example, type 1 diabetes damages the pancreas, while others like lupus affect the whole body. With InEarthgie, they help everyday people such as yourself with understanding their conditions, help them manage it, and build a long-lasting healthy lifestyle. Of course, this is through holistic practices and home remedies. So what are you waiting for? Come on and join the InEarthgie journey.
All right, guys, welcome back to the InEarthgie Show. I am your host, Chi Smith, where we bring balance to an unbalanced lifestyle. And today, guys, we're talking about relationships. Absolutely talking about relationships. Please like and share, and tell your friends, your family members, your coworkers, your neighbors. Listen, we love to share information and we love to be better. We're here to be better. I can't believe that God created us to be here on this wonderful earth, and we are just existing and not necessarily living. So I want to thank you so much for tuning in. We're here every Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. Central, 7:30 Eastern, every Tuesday here, Facebook at BBC TV, as well as YouTube channel, InEarthgie Therapy. So guys, we just got finished talking about how to evaluate our relationships, no matter if they're business and or personal. And so what we're going to take the time out now is to focus on the 4 T's for your heart. 4 T's for your heart. And I say that with all intent, because there is a beautiful book that I've been reading. And I've been reading it for a number of years. And here's the thing. It is all about relationships. And you can use this book again for your significant others. You can use it for coworkers. You can use it for your children. Any relationship that you have, you can use it for business, again, with business partners. If your team is growing, how to relate to people as a whole, as well as down to your clients, right? You want to understand your clients. And so these are the top 4 things that you want to make sure that you are doing in order to enhance your relationship with these individuals. So the first one is time. Time. It is apparent, guys. Look, think about it. When you were dating, or, when you start a new job, there had to be time to get to understand, what you were getting yourself into. So as it relates to a significant other, you spent time with them, you went on several dates, you guys, hung out, you may have done a couple of trips together, really, right? To kind of get them out of their comfort zone and really understand how they are outside of their home, out of their comfort zone. When you start a new job, you spend, the first 30, 60, 90 days doing maybe the same thing repetitively, over and over and over again. But it was the time that you took for it to sink in, to understand what my workload is going to be, what applications I'm going to have to use, what tools am I going to have to use, right? Am I going to have to talk to different departments throughout the day, right? So think about things like that. The time that you spend, time meaning even down to your clients, right? From a business perspective. Are you spending time with your clients? Are you spending time, whether you are sending out marketing information to understand more of who they are? So you're taking time and creating those marketing tools so that you can send it out to them so that they can, respond back to you, and you can fully have, knowledge about who you're dealing with. What is your client, your audience, and your clientele really made up of, right? Because you want to ensure that your products and services are meeting the demand, right? So time, think about that. How much time again, going with your children. How much time are you spending with your children? When was the last time you took your child out on a date? And I know that sounds weird, but maybe just to a movie night. Now, with this pandemic and all, and listen, however the world is opening up, get creative. I mean, if nothing else, 2020 taught us how to be creative. And so maybe, go to a certain room of the house, turn on a movie, and hang out and chill. Or go have dinner with your children, or go to the park. What are you creating to maximize the time as it relates to your relationships? It's a question. You got to spend time. You got to spend time with people. You just do. How will you get to know them if you don't spend time? Okay. Number 2, talk. I have to believe that when you spend enough time with someone, there's going to be communication. Words are going to be exchanged, right? And listen, as you guys know, the more a person talks, you learn about them, right? But you have to spend time with them and enough time with them in order to even get them to talk. Sometimes people don't talk immediately. They could very well be an extrovert, but because maybe you gave up after date number 2 and they didn't just give you the full throttle of their whole life story, then you're like, away with them, right? So you want to have time to talk. Got it? 1 time and 2, talk. And then what are your conversations about? Are you really trying to get to know them? Are you trying to learn them to a place to where you're trying to figure out how can they meet your need versus to you meeting their need? Sometimes those are some of those relationships and conversations in the relationships. You're in those relationships and you're taking time to talk because you're trying to figure out what can you get out of it. Let's be clear. Can we be honest? Can we be honest here on the InEarthgie Show? Again, we can only be balanced if we bring forth the truth. Listen, we all haven't been perfect and we all aren't perfect, right? Some of us have began those relationships just to see what we could get out of it. Yeah, you want to hear all about what they got going on so that you can figure out how can you profit from this relationship. Are you talking to the babies? Look, they could be 30 and 40, 50 years old. Listen, are you talking to them? And when you're talking with your children, are you listening to hear or are you listening to respond? Because oftentimes, even when people are talking, we tuned out. We thinking about grocery shopping. We thinking about, well, bill got to be paid. We thinking about, oh, shoot, I got to go pick up such and such at 4:00. So you're listening to immediately respond back with something, maybe to shut them up or to hurry them up so you can get to what you're trying to get to. There has to be value in conversation if you're looking to create successful relationships. When you're talking to potential clients, are you asking them questions? Are you having conversations with them so that you can figure out if the end goal will be them purchasing anything from you? Or are you really trying to get to the heart and the meat of the individual so that you know what your offerings are will meet their need plus more? You've got to find a way to talk to your clients when you are at those pop-up shops. Take time to talk. If you have someone to go with you to help man the table and help sell the solutions, wonderful. While you're taking time to talk to your clients and or whatever you have spread about your table, ask them, what do you like? What are you interested in? How do you normally use that? If you could use that every day versus to once a month, could that be an additive to your life. Talk, and then get them to ask some questions and get them to talk. And then allow there to be a back and forth dialogue. Yeah. You got to spend time. When you spend time with people, and definitely when you talk, people feel like you care. They feel like you care. They absolutely do. So I have to ask you, as you think about your various relationships, whether significant other, your children, business, co-workers, because we're all, those of us who are tuning in here today, are not all entrepreneurs yet. Now, we may be on our way, but we may also still be working with an employer, as well as building on our entrepreneurship plan. So that means you still have to deal with some people, right? You still have to create the right positive and successful atmosphere in order to get that successful relationship. You just do. All right, guys, I'm going to do one more commercial. When we come back, we will tackle the last two of the 4 steps to a successful relationship. Be right back.
Hi, everyone. It's Chi Smith here, the founder of InEarthgie Therapy. What is InEarthgie Therapy, you may ask? Well, InEarthgie Therapy is a place of comfort and no judgment zone. What are the benefits of experiencing InEarthgie Therapy? Well, here, one will receive an increasing amount of individual self-awareness, encouragement, self-love, identifying boundaries, enhancing communication skills, and improving the use of healthy coping mechanisms. Who is InEarthgie for? InEarthgie is for anyone looking for alternative methods toward a healthier lifestyle. InEarthgie has a strong community focus on those who fall into the autoimmune, deficiency, and disease community. Why, you may ask? Great question. Like many in this community, InEarthgie too is a member of this community. And what better way than to identify with someone who has learned to manage sustainability while too assisting others. So, for a limited time, InEarthgie is waiving the first-timer consulting fee. And guess what? Your first class for free. Yes, guys, it's free. So in essence, you will receive 5 sessions for the price of 3. That's a pretty doggone good deal. Now again, for a limited time, InEarthgie is waiving the first timer consulting fee and your first class for free. All individual appointments are offered in person and or virtually. So sign up today at www.inearthgie.com. That's www.inearthgie.com. Go to the services tab and click on InEarthgie COVID-19 Well Now.
All right, guys, welcome back. Welcome to the Energy Show. I'm your host, Chi Smith here. And today, guys, we're talking about successful relationships. We've already talked about the sliding scale, understanding exactly where you are in the various relationships that you own, whether business and or personal. There's a sliding scale there. You want to do some evaluations. You always want to do kind of like a temperature check, maybe every 3 months, every 6 months, and try to make sure that you're on the right track. Even if you're married, okay? I'm married. My husband and I, we do check-ins all the time. We want to make sure that we are constantly in a place of progression in our marriage as we are building up our family dynamic, okay? So we constantly are evaluating, we're constantly assessing, is this working? Is this not working? And then we can create a plan that will absolutely work. That is the whole purpose. You want to be successful. Listen, even athletes, look, we love sports. We watch sports. Look, the coaches, in order to create the right relationship, they get to know their players. They get to understand their players. They take time with them. We talked about the top 2. We're going to talk about the last 2 here in a few. But the first 2 of the 4 steps to a successful relationship is time and talk. Coaches take time. They take time to understand their players, and they talk with them. They try to understand, where are you in your headspace? Where are you? Are you in the game? Are you out the game? Pre-game and post-game. Okay? That is absolutely what coaches do. Everyone uses an evaluation. Every CEO does it. Every CEO, even the top brands, the top beverage brands, the top personal care brands, any industry, even in the healthcare industry, we know it to be true. We know it to be true. Hey, is this solution working for the masses? Everyone has a touch point in order to be successful. So if we can use that in other areas, why can't we use that in our day-to-day relationships? You got to take time to talk. Time is number one, and talk is number two. Number three is truth. See, when you take time to talk, sooner or later, what's going to come out? The truth. The truth. It's just going to come out. But if you don't talk, if you don't take the time to talk, you'll never understand the truth. The truth either going to set you free or the truth going to send you out the door. You'll get to the core of who that individual really is. You'll really understand who they are, their makeup, why they do what they do, why they say what they say, why they go where they go, when they go there. You'll get to know the truth, the meat, the core of that individual. It's important. It's important. And look, sometimes the truth is not pretty. And of course, you have an option. Do I want to continue down a path, right? Or not? Do I want to continue down the path or not? You have a choice. The more, I think she is a great business partner, but let me spend a little bit more time with her. Let me talk to her more. Let me hear her talk, and let me try to really get to the core of who she is, because I promise you it'll come out. The more I talk with her, the more I spend time with her, I'll really understand what her value system really is. And that right there will let me know if I want to pursue a business opportunity with her, or if I'm looking to add her onto my team for X, Y, and Z, or what have you. I'm telling you, taking the time to talk will lead you to the truth. It just is. It just is. It just is. You guys have a choice. You got a choice. Even with your babies. Let's talk about the babies. You should not, even when they get grown, you should not allow a certain amount of time to lapse in between you talk to your children. Because listen, grown or not, they go through things. And as long as you are a parent, and as long as you are their parent, they need you. Don't think that your children are doing so well that they're fine. It's funny. I have a family member who says, and literally they live by this, a couple of them. No news is good news. I don't know about that. Yeah, no news is good news. That's what they say. I don't know about that. Sometimes no news means you need to check in on somebody. Don't you let 3 to 6, 9, 2 years pass and you ain't checked in. Oh, they're busy. Oh, they're fine. They doing good. Check in. Because if you took the time out to talk to them, you'll find out that maybe there were some things that you should have probably been a part of, or wish you was a part of, right? Again, let's talk about business. When you have business partners and you're going in together and making things happen to create the next best thing, right, for your audience and for the client base that you're really trying to touch and meet the needs of, the more that you have the assessments with your business partner or your team, and you talk through maybe the various transactions that's happening in different locations or your current location, you'll get to the truth. Hey, the location in Colorado is not producing as much as Vegas, New York, Georgia, Dallas is. So then you have to accept that hard truth and make a decision on, do we keep that Colorado location or do we let it go? Right? You got to take the time to talk about your business in order to get to the hard truth, in order to make the right decision and or come up with the right outcome. Okay. Good evening, Miss Glenda. Yes. And then lastly, guys, is trust. Okay, so let's go back to the significant other relationships. And even if you're dating, if you're in a dating period, hey, taking time to talk to people to understand their truth will let you know, can you trust them? Oh, man. Some of us are dealing with trust in our relationships today because maybe we took the time to talk. But when we got to the truth and that red flag stuck out so big and bright, you disregarded the red flag of the truth. Now, that truth was going to lead you to a healthy trust factor or not. But at that pivotal moment of the truth, did you address that? Did you talk about it some more to fully understand their truth? Because now we're dealing with trust factors. So when, again, you take time to talk, you get to the truth, will help you get to trusting. These are 4 healthy steps to a successful relationship. When you are scouting out a business partner, when you're taking the time to talk to them and you understand who they really are as an individual, to understand that they will be the perfect business partner for your industry, then there lies the trust that they will be able to hold their end of the bargain, whether it's a 50-50, whether it's a 49-51, whether it's a 70-30, 80-20, whatever it is, you can trust that they will hold up their end of the bargain. Now, if you don't trust that they're going to hold up their end of the bargain, then you got to get back to that truth. And or you need to go back to step 2 and get to talking some more. You can never talk too much when you're trying to get to an end goal. And some people don't like to talk because when you talk, the truth comes out. And sometimes it's almost like hurting people to tell the truth, because telling truth means the lies are dying. Come on, church. When you tell the truth, the lies will then diminish. Some people are okay with living the lie. So you will never get to the place of truth because they don't mind living the lie, which will ultimately hinder a successful relationship. But again, you have the power and the choice. Don't let those red flags go over your head. Don't. When folks get the, what we call it, ducking and dodging, when it's time for step 3, it's a message. It's a message. Seriously. It's a message. It's a message to you. So time, talk, truth, and trust. Guys, we're in a place right now where we are having a hard time trusting people. And you know why? Because they didn't live their truth. People have been so comfortable living the lies that has become their norm. They think that the lie is normal. And by the time they get to you, they feel like they don't have to justify anything. or clarify anything. So they keep living that lie. And then they wonder why. They wonder why you don't trust them. My goodness. In order to have successful relationships, we have to do these 4 things, guys. We have to have time. Take the time. Take the time. If these relationships are important to you, you will make sure that you make time. Now, we don't have time to really get into these other relationships because let's be real, and I'm going to say this right here. Some of us can make time to get that nookie wookie wookie. We'll make time for that. But we're not really trying to get to know you. We're not really messing about how was your day. People make time for what they want to make time for. So if these relationships are meaningful to you, you will make sure that you are taking the time and talking it out. Talk about anything. Nothing is off limits when you're trying to create a successful relationship, when you're trying to create a wonderful business relationship. Nothing is off limits. Nothing is off limits. If you're asking people about their credit score, that is not off limits. If you ask them, if you're trying to get into a relationship, do you have an STD on your record? Have you ever been to jail? Nothing should be off limits. How many children do you have? And do you have any on the way today? Nothing is off limits. Do you want to be a homeowner? Do you have a desire to own your own business? Do you love being social? Because see, this is another thing too in these relationships. It's okay to have an introvert as one person and an extrovert as another person. But when it's time to get down to the business, whether it's go see family, whether it's to do this pop-up shop, whether it's to get this book done, whether it's to finish this business plan, whether it's to go to the bank and talk to the bank to get this money, you got to be ready. I don't care how much of an introvert you are. It's time to go. It's go time at that moment, but you got to be able to ask people about things like that. And also ask people what they do when hard times hit. Do they tuck tail and run? Because if y'all get into a situation with the business, you need to know, is that person going to ride out with you or they going to bail out with they 30% or they 49%? How do you handle tough times? That's during step number 2, you asking questions. Ain't nothing wrong with asking questions. Because it's going to get you to step 3, the truth. Come on now. It's going to get you to the truth. And then that'll let you know how much level of trust you can have with that person. And I am also an advocate in believing that trust has to be built up. What they say, trust is not given, it's earned. A quick story. I remember I was like 12 or 13. And listen, I wasn't a perfect kid, but I was a really good kid. And so I called myself having a little boyfriend. And my mom had allowed me to go to a dance. It was at a local community center, had a very good reputation, bukus of chaperones. My mom knew, some of the chaperones too. This was just a well-known community center where young kids went to really establish themselves and really become better young men and young women. So I can't remember if I knew that my quote unquote boyfriend was going to be there or not, but he was there. And then he was a gentleman and walked me to the car. That was cool. However, I guess I thought I was too grown We both thought we was too grown. And there was a pact that took place before I got in my mother's car. Lord, I hear that horn being honked right now. So, anywho, fast forward, you get home. And at this time, this is when my mom was really starting to implement. She's always talked to me, but she really implemented talking to me at this moment in time. And she said, you broke my heart. You broke my heart, and I trusted that you would not have done that, number one. But I also trust that you would not have ever done that in front of me. And that broke my heart to know that I broke her heart. And she said, I'm not sure if I can trust you again. You're going to have to build your trust up with me. That took the wind out of me at the age of 12 or 13. Now, I understood that maybe what I did was bad, but I didn't think that it went to the next level of creating distrust now between me and my mom. So, of course, fast forward, gain trust back, all good. But that is an example because there was some lies clearly that I have been operating in that led to my actions, which led to the distrust. So as you are taking time, guys, and talking and learning the truth, the real truth, understand that even in the relationships where there could be some trust that's broken, allow that trust to be built back up. Don't easily just give it. Allow it to be built back up. We call that the coin challenge. Don't give all your coins to people. Let them gain the coins. Isn't that what they do at the amusement places for kids? You have to build up, these tickets, these coins to get what you're trying to get in the end. And in the end, if the goal is to have a successful relationship, business relationship, parent-child relationship, co-worker relationship, even down to leader and employee or boss and employee or manager and employee, you have to make sure you have clear understanding that there has been, these 4 steps have taken place, that these 4 steps have indeed taken place, and take inventory as much as you can. We talked about that at the beginning of the show. Take inventory. Maybe there was a step missed. So guys, I really encourage you to get this book. Okay. So this is where we were talking from today. The 4 T's for your heart. Steps to a successful relationship. Time, talk, truth, trust. Go grab this book. The link is in the chat. Go grab this book, guys. I'm telling you, it is very helpful, and it can be applicable to anything that you're doing. Any relationship you're trying to create or any relationships that you have today, that's going to help you sustain a successful relationship. And shoot, for all I care, read it together with the people. Maybe that'll help the successful relationship. Read it. Read the material with the people. And you know what? Maybe we'll go down this for the remainder of July because relationships are so important. And we're at a place right now that we need to build healthy relationships. So as we are building, we need to understand where we are. So maybe we'll take our time to really dissect this book here for the month of July. I don't know. You guys tell me. But if even in your own time, go grab the book, 4 T's for your heart. It is awesome, awesome, awesome. And then don't forget about to grab your journals on InEarthgie.com. Grab your journals. They are guided journals of gratitude. A lot of times in our relationships, we're not expressing a lot of gratitude. And maybe that too can be a part of where we are in our various relationships. We have to find the good in every relationship if you can. And if you can't find any good, then maybe you need to let go of that relationship. I don't know. Or seek some additional counseling or therapeutic services to help you and your partner to develop healthy relationship traits and characteristics. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We love you. We love you. Enjoy your evening. We'll see you next week on the InEarthgie Show. Bye.
She's sugary, she's spice. She is everything plus nice. Take her one-on-one class and she provides the best advice. She'll take you down to the trenches, but only to lead a new way. Only for the sake of you and your legacy to establish a new day. Let's give a warm welcome to the Chief Reprimander and the Supreme Hugger, Chi Smith.